Hi guys, and welcome to a very special episode of Marketing in the Madness, because we are coming to you live from Las Vegas in the Mac Alliance Lounge at Shoptalk. So, of course, because we're at Shoptalk, I'm going to be talking specifically around retail and technology. And as always, I have a very special guest with me today. Now I'm going to get my special guest to actually say his name himself. I have the CEO of Storyblock, who are part of the Mac Alliance. His name is Dominic, but I'm going to say his surname wrong. So I'm going to get Dominic to introduce himself.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Dominik Angerer. I'm one of the two founders of Storyblock and happy to be with you here.
Amazing. So, what I always like to do is frame a bit about you. Obviously, having founded a very successful and fast growth tech company, give us a bit of the story and the background behind you and why you launched Storyblock.
Yeah, 100%. So I'm actually a software engineer. That's what I originally was trained for, and my colleague Alexander as well. And we both started working at an agency in 2015 and imagine things like a B2B store for Adidas and Reebok, a 3D yacht configurator for Dominator yachts where you can have an Oculus Rift on, walk for a yacht, and at the end you can buy it with a credit card. These are things that we were building day in, day out essentially. And at one point around 2017, we realized, hey, we need a better content management system. So we tried a lot, way too much. And we came up with the idea of building it ourselves to combine a visual editor with storytelling elements using reusable content blocks. So storytelling with blocks, that's where Storyblock then came in. And in 2017 we launched it, and 3 months later we're profitable and had about 1,000 active users on the platform. So yeah, that was 8 years ago, and now we are 260 amazing people across 47 countries, having 260,000 active customers on the platform, working day in, day out on amazing brand experiences. So yeah, really excited.
Love that. I mean, I just love a fantastic tech success story, and you guys are exactly that. In fact, I first probably came across Storyblock working for what part of DDB, Tribal Worldwide, who I think used you guys a lot at the time for some huge brands. I think maybe across Volkswagen. I might be telling
Tribal
a fib
Worldwide
there.
is definitely correct. That's all I'm going to say.
maybe not that brand. Well, there we go. You're teeing me up for a better answer here. What kind of brands do you work with? And because we're at Shoptalk, let's focus on the retail brands.
Yeah, so we work mostly with manufacturing or software companies, but also education. I call it old tech, which is banking, insurance, and so on. But of course, also amazing retail companies. One good example could actually be some of the brands you can see at Shoptalk. I'm not allowed to name too many names, but all of you are most likely have worn at least one t-shirt of them at any point in your life. So I'm quite excited about all of them.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's the great thing, isn't it? Here, especially meeting a lot of the brands that are at the forefront of retail and trying to do some quite different things in the space. I think there's so much to learn here, but I'm specifically obviously interested in learning about what you guys have been doing. So I know there's been some new features. Tell me a little bit about Storyblock. I mean, obviously the story, which is around these kind of story blocks, but what makes you guys different, and what kind of technologies are you launching? Where do you see the future?
Yeah, so we started out with basically creating a content graveyard. Sounds weird, but that's what a content management system was to be in the past 10 years. It's a place where you write content, hopefully, or in a Google Docs or Word document, then you copy and paste it into your CMS, hit publish and forget about it. And that's the sad reality CMS has been for the last couple of years. We want to change that. So we do have the publishing capacity. So you can create content, you can publish it, you can use on a website, mobile apps, internet, or wherever you want. But we figured there's a whole content lifecycle that you need to go for. So think of the first idea of your content. So right now it happens in a whiteboard, maybe Miro, maybe just on a note that you have in actual real life. And we want that to be also in your CMS. We call that ideas room. Literally that simple. It's a small feature within the CMS where you can summarize your ideas, you can share it with your team. And the idea is that once you have it in Storyblock, in your content management system, it starts from there, getting your idea into the concept room, which is our newest feature we just launched 2 days ago. It's about a visual representation of your whole customer journey on your site, on your content. And the next step is automation to get your concept to a final product, which is your content. And then we try to fully automate the recycling of content as well. So still content, big problem. Imagine we're posting this now, and 5 years later somebody tells you, hey, Dom is no longer the CEO of Storyblock. We need to update that, right? Somebody needs to do that. And we try to automate that going forward as well. So somebody within our team or an AI most likely will just give you a prompt, hey, like this is outdated, let's update it. So,
Amazing.
full life cycle. I'm really excited for that.
And I guess AI, I mean, look, I can't come to this conference and not talk about AI. From an AI perspective, where do you see the future going? Because of course there's so much that we can do with content, from creation through to management. For you guys, specifically at Storyblock, what are you seeing with AI? What are you excited about? And where do you see the future of content going?
Yeah, so we have seen a lot of things that are just replication of ChatGPT, where it's generating of content, it's generation of images. And to be honest, that's not fun. Like, everybody can do that for free right now. What we have seen is that we need to analyze the patterns of our content creators. Everybody that is working within Storyblock, they're doing repetitive work. Be it that stale content that needs to be approved and updated over time, or just something that is done every year. So one of our earliest customers, they actually had a team around New Year's Eve to launch the new campaign on the latest day of the last year, before they were using Storyblock, of course. And they had to manually, on New Year's Eve, the moment it goes live, literally click a button to run it live. Imagine you have like 20 people in different time zones doing that, and that you do every year. Of course, the scheduling features and so on, but most of the time people still need to manage that manually, and we could automate that fully for you. So the idea from Storyblock is that we try to understand how you're using our tool, and then try to help you do it faster and save resources, and try to solve the things you don't want to do, so you have more time for actually creating content, the creative parts that you actually want to do.
Yeah.
So right now we launched AI SEO tag generation, AI alternative text information for accessibility reasons on images. So all those small kind of things that everybody forgets, we want to automate.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. AI is brilliant and it sounds cool, but what you actually have to have is a practical reason, and it's got to be solving a problem that you have. So that was going to be one of my next questions, actually. What are the biggest challenges, like when you're talking to someone that's about to maybe purchase Storyblock, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing that your platform can help them overcome?
Yeah, I believe it's something that the whole Mach Alliance is talking about right now, which is about migration of content and migration of different old school kind of systems. And this is where AI actually comes in super handy, because if you have an existing solution or unstructured data in a variety of different systems and you want to migrate it, it's an ideal tool to make the transformation happen for you. So you define your existing data, the output data, and you just have your AI basically do that connector. And suddenly you can spawn a complete Mach Alliance conform platform for your own business in close to no time. I mean, Odelay launched like 17 different locales and languages websites in 2 months from first start to really launching it. If you think about it, 2 months is nothing, and they went live in 17 different markets, just like that.
Wow, because I think that's what people think. I mean, for those that don't understand, don't know, can you explain Composable and Mac architecture and what that means, and why you think it's so important?
Yeah, so I'm a software engineer. I've been doing that since I'm like 14 years old, and I'm older now. No, don't worry.
But also, I didn't say this at the beginning. I noticed you're one of Forbes 30 under 30.
Yeah, just turned 30 last year.
Amazing.
So,
yeah. Well, I mean, you've achieved a lot. It's amazing.
No, but actually, it's the whole Mach Alliance and the whole setup that empowered us to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Which is essentially figuring out a better way to not lock somebody into technology. And if you think about it, if you buy a huge suite that has multiple tools already built in, like a hosting, a CMS, a search, and an e-commerce system all in one platform, it sounds nice in the beginning. But what if the e-commerce system is actually not the best one on the market and you're losing money because of that? Or the search is not delivering the results that you actually want for your customers to find? Or the CMS is just too slow? So you're always bound to this one monolith basically that is out there. Monolith is basically starting point of like an old legacy technology setup. And the whole Mach Alliance and the idea behind Composable is that for each of those products, you choose the right one, the best one on the market, best of breed approach. So for CMS, I would use Storyblock, and there's an excellent vendor list within e-commerce at Mach Alliance. You can search, go for search on search vendors as well. And there's so many more on the PIM side of things, digital asset management side of things, that just integrate really nicely with APIs. We just launched, for example, for the PIM, we launched Akineo and InRiver plugins right away. So you don't ever actually have to build something. You can just activate it.
Wow.
And it's just amazing because you can choose whatever fits your business the best, and you are not like fully bought into one vendor.
Yeah, and you're not wasting money coding
wasting money,
things
yeah.
that you don't need to code
Yeah.
because the APIs have already been built.
And in the beginning, it might be a little bit more to do because you need to hook them up and connect them, so to have your experience. So the initial cost might be a little bit higher for the first time, but the maintenance cost over the next 3 to 4 years, it's so little in comparison to like old monolithic things that you need to update. So I would always do that switch immediately.
Yeah. Can you tell me some of the cool things that these kind of collaborate, or maybe talk about, it doesn't have to be the two that we just mentioned, but any other Mac Alliance partner that you guys are working with, something cool that you've co-created together, and if you can give it an example of a brand or a business that you've done something for, if you're allowed to talk about it. I always ask the cheeky questions. That would be great as well.
Yeah, I'm always trying to not mention other vendors because we are like really good partners with so many of them. So highlighting one is always tough. But I can tell you, like, there's big commerce tools, and so many amazing e-commerce vendors out there that are partnering with the Mac Alliance, and they all have created amazing experiences. I mean, also like Scale, as an example, they have created an experience with Fielman, amazing brand experience if you try to like purchase new classes. And if you look into the things that Commercial have brought out, there's so many interactive kind of experiences that they have built together with the clients and also our clients. And I would just highly recommend checking out the use cases on their website and our website, and you can find the familiarities really quickly. The overarching kind of thing, and I believe one would be on the hosting side with NRF. Talking at Shoptalk about NRF is kind of weird, but the cool thing is what they have actually brought down to is only 75% reduction of development time. So imagine suddenly only 1/4 of the costs of building something new. And they have done it with amazing partners because like tech vendors is only one part of the Mac Alliance. There are also so many agency partners out there like RDA or American Eagle that are building amazing experiences for clients. And they are also partners with us, and they're building that because we are only the software vendor, right? And they are actually bringing it to life with the customers. So,
is there anything, it doesn't have to be something that you've necessarily even seen at Shoptalk, but anything that you've seen that you're just like, wow? Because for me, the AI, I mean, of course, everyone's talking about AI all the time, but what AI is enabling, like I was talking to someone earlier and they were just chatting to me about, you know, how they've got like video chatbots that you can have a conversation with, and you wouldn't even realize that you're not talking to an actual person or a customer, you know, customer representative. It's actually a robot. So is there anything that you've kind of that's highlighted to you recently? You're just like, wow, like it's exciting where this stuff's going.
So there's a company out of Norway, not Norway, Netherlands, and they're actually here at Shoptalk called Instant.
Yeah.
And those two are really crazy. Corinne and Sam are the two founders of that, and they are creating something new right now that they are launching on a really interesting domain name called something.fish, and I'm not allowed to share the full details. But imagine a complete shop developer for you. You type in what you want in a certain style, and it will generate Shopify components for you that you can then hook up with any CMS that you want. It's really nice. It's really nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's just the speed that people can now go to market. I think it's, you know, the changes that you can make, and what the Mac and the Composable architectures enable you to do is make those changes really, really easily, build in the best of breed,
100%.
so that you're developing an experience that is right and bespoke to you. I think that's also maybe where some of the kind of fear used to be, is around like if you go for a monolith, it does feel like a safer play traditionally because you're a well-known big tech company, maybe it's safe to buy them, you know, they've got that tick of approval. But I think now actually that's really starting to change, and the more brands that I speak to who are working with, you know, people like Shopify, you guys, that are enabling brand experiences to be developed in a lot more, in a more kind of bespoke way. Sometimes, you know, obviously Shopify has everything, but a lot of the time, you know, there's also your big commerce tools, others that you've referenced, that you're able to plug and play with and create these experiences which are so bespoke to you.
Yeah, what I found so interesting is that many have a little bit of fear of migration, or fear of testing it. There's a saying in the whole business world that I believe all of us heard already once, which is nobody was ever fired to purchase like the leader of one of the quadrants, right? And sadly it's true, but the problem is there are certain quadrants out there, or kind of reports out there, that are not working in this complete concept of Composable yet, because you might not want to purchase a full DXP, You only want to solve your content problems, then you want to solve your DAM problems, you want to hook up a proper CRM, and you want to have a great search experience. But you can build on top of that over time. And that's the big problem right now for many companies out there. They still think, oh, I need to replace everything immediately. But instead, you can go a progressive enhancement kind of way and really over time just enhance your own experience by replacing the things that annoy you the most. And suddenly it maybe takes a little bit longer, but you are not at the risk of literally like destroying something if that's the fear that you might have. And it's actually quite nice to just play around with it. Like we have one customer, amazing customer called Marco Polo, and they have done amazing. Like the speed and how they progressed, like the first proof of concept. I mean, the first proof of concept with Storyblock and their e-commerce solution of choice was done in a week.
Wow.
That's just amazing if you think about it. I mean, they have amazing talent, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, if you hook up two amazing APIs together with a front-end framework that the developers that you have are choosing, be it Next.js or Nuxt.js, be it Vue, React, Angular, whatever you want to use, and they have experience with that, they can do that in a week. So have a final proof of concept, and it's just amazing. So you don't need to wait for like 6 months to see something. It's not the case anymore.
I think that's what's great, is it enables you to actually fix maybe the part that is most broken first, and then build upon that. And actually, by choosing a Mac Alliance, partner, then actually what you're enabling is then other relationships, so that they can kind of recommend other best-in-breed tech providers that you can kind of snap and form together to create an experience that not only is faster to go to market, but potentially across the board is going to be best-in-breed at each element, and it's going to improve things a lot more quickly for you.
Yeah, there's so many amazing agency partners that can help you on that. So if you don't have the in-house capacity or just not the time with your team right now, maybe you just want to outsource this proof of concept to somebody else. There's so many of them. And I mentioned like American Eagle and RDA, it's two of them, which are, RDA is our first platinum partner here in the US as well from the Storyblock side. So they're really good at really understanding your business needs and try to fix it really quickly. And then they try to help you with the rest of the digitalization kind of progress that you might want to go through.
Yeah, so. Nice. I like to talk about the messy middle. Now, I'll explain what the messy middle means. So it's the little things that are bugging maybe developers, maybe the head of digital, maybe their team. That might be like, oh my gosh, I've got to upload the same product 7 times to 7 different places in order to get it live on the website, or whatever it might be. What are the I guess recurrent things that you're seeing that people are, I guess struggling with that you guys can help them overcome?
So that example that you just gave, that's what we solve for. It's one place where you put your content and then you have an API that you can use on 7, 10, 100 different locations, and you don't have to do it 20 times. That's gone. If you're still doing that today, you need to switch. Let me know.
Come and speak to Storyblock, guys.
No, but for real, like there's so many of those repetitive tasks that many are doing, and we actually just trademarked joyful headless as a term for us, because we realized most of our customers, they are not piggybacking on just one simple feature. They are more talking about the full experience that they get. Our goal is that on a Monday morning, a marketing person can go into the office or like open their laptop at home in home office and really log into the system and do something creative and do something that they actually enjoy, and not something that they have to do because they found like 20 typos or they have to upload it in 20 different systems. Like that's what we try to solve. And for developers, we try to solve for performance, so they don't have to maintain things manually all the time and do security updates, because that's what we can do for them automatically. So that's the whole idea that we try to solve. It's not one feature, it's the whole experience. If you use something like Storyblock in combination with other Mac Alliance members, you can literally hook it up to a place where you can just do your job that you want to do and not the chores that you have to do. And I believe that's the whole idea that we try to solve for. And we're on a good journey doing that. All of our customers seem to be quite happy. I mean, we have historically low churn over the last 8 years, which is amazing. And we are growing quite fast. Like we now raised a total of 138 million. So last year it was about 80 million that we raised to really go towards the US, because we are originally like a EMEA business. I myself am from Austria, and we're now really going into the US market really, really deeply. And I'm excited because the issues are the same globally. we actually did a web survey around like embarrassment of their own website that also just launched, I believe, today. Hope I'm not breaking any embargoes now, but it's quite interesting because 40% of all website owners, like actually people that are working on websites, are embarrassed of their own website, and 30% in EMEA, so 40% in US, 30% in EMEA are embarrassed about the current website. And contradictionally that, they still say like 97%, I believe it was the number, are still saying like the return of investment is amazing. But what all the numbers in the survey that we did showed is that they're leaving so much money still on the floor because they are working against like their own maintenance cycle. They're still doing outdated content. They still have to fix and upload things multiple times. And this can be done. This can be completely solved and is solved already since 8 years when we started that.
Yeah, technology doesn't have to hold you back. I must say, I am one of those people that is embarrassed of my website, and I am my own worst client because it's taken me nearly a year, and I'm the blocker. It's taken me nearly a year to get my new website content ready so that we can get it built and moved forward. But I think that's the case. It's technology, sadly, I think over the last, well, forever, it feels like sometimes it holds you back. But I think this is where Composable comes into its own, because it's allowing you to move forward at pace, at speed, to knock off different elements piece by piece so that you've got the right building blocks and you're not frustrated, stuck. You don't feel like technology is holding you back anymore. What technology should be doing is enabling us to be faster, move forward, try new things. And I think that's the beauty of platforms like Storyblock, by knowing that you can save time by uploading one thing and it going to all the places that you need it to go to, by making sure that in the background the technology is being kept up to date. What the businesses, the brands or the agencies can do is invest the time that they were spending on fixing things, on uploading things 10 times, on innovating,
adding something new. It's that simple. If you think about it, there are so many ideas that people have on landing pages or digital experiences, or when they want to have like a proper customer journey from like local store experiences to the web, and they want to really connect those pieces. Right now they're struggling doing that because they are still locked into like a monolith on the web, and they have some local installation for the local store, and they need to somehow get that together, and it actually doesn't work that well. But there are ways you can connect those two worlds quite easily, and the technology is here already. And now it comes down to, okay, who's brave enough to test it? And second of all, who has the guts to then really pull it through? Because there are, as mentioned, agencies that can build that with you right now. They have the expertise, they have the knowledge, they have the resources, and the technology is there as well. So it's only up to their own, okay, am I okay risking something or not? And I believe there are more and more amazing case studies coming out now that do risk it and see huge success. And the more we, as not just the Mach Alliance, but as members of the Mach Alliance, can also show that, the better it will be.
Yeah, we've got to get braver.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Got to get braver.
Our new slogan is now Storyblock, bigger, faster market impact, for a reason. So
yeah, I love that. Great message. Well, you've teed me up for my very last question to you, Dominic, is what's next? What's next for Storyblock? What's next for the future of CMS platforms?
So we just launched our concept room literally 2 days ago. The whole idea is that you get a visual representation of your complete customer journey and all your content at once, because we realized you actually don't know what kind of content you have. Especially if you're a larger enterprise company, you are completely stuck with your current structure and you don't know what's going on. So with that, you will actually now know what you have, and you can go into the bits and pieces that want you update. And that's what we have been launching right now. Joyful Headless already launched like 1 month ago, complete new messaging, glad you like it. And there are many more things on our roadmap around some cool AI-enabled features, but also native features and automation that all of our customers get access to. So I'm really excited about that. And for me personally, I will be way more in the US, which is quite nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you, and maybe also you again in one of the other conferences here.
Amazing. Thank you, Dominic.
Thank you so much, Katie.
Guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. I've loved chatting to Dominic. Really appreciate your time with us. If you did enjoy this, please, of course, go and head over to Spotify and or Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review, and I hope to see you back here soon.